Welcome in, everyone. We have a very important topic to talk about today with the Iran-Israel war, and that is people who are out there spreading misinformation, lies, information that is not credible, and this information is spreading like wildfire across the internet. There's a couple specific examples I'm going to talk about that I have a real issue with, that I think we have to be paying attention to, and then discuss whether or not these people are credible sources to be listening to when it comes to the war between Israel and Iran. Frankly, I'll be honest with you, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of these people. I'm getting sick and tired of people who are just spouting off seemingly complete nonsense propaganda. You can feel however you want about the war, but we need to stick to the facts. And that's what I like to think we do here at this channel. I've admitted when I've been wrong. I've admitted when my predictions have been wrong. And I also talk about when I've been right. And it's important that you can do that. And a lot of you guys have given me credit for admitting when I was wrong. For example, I didn't think the war would be this easy for Israel. I didn't think they'd gain air superiority this quickly. I was wrong about that. And that's okay to admit. So we're going to go over some examples of just complete bullshit. And there's no other way to say it. I know this is a family show. I try to keep the language PG-13, but it's bullshit. And we're going to go over all. Before we do, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. It costs you guys nothing, totally free. Helps boost the channel up. Comment with your thoughts below. So I'm trying to respond to as many comments as I can. And then hit the bell, hit notifications. Make sure your notifications are set so you don't miss a video. You'll be the most updated people on YouTube. Now, let's get into it. As viewers of the channel know, Iran and Israel continue to battle it out, and it is clear Israel is winning this war. Doesn't mean they've stopped every ballistic missile fired at them. Doesn't mean that they haven't encountered issues of their own. Doesn't mean Israelis haven't been killed. All of that is true. All of that is 100% true. But the facts of the matter are that Iran is running and trying to hide. No one even knows where their leader is. In fact, reports are that he's hiding in a bunker somewhere. He's lost control of his military. He's lost control of communications. Israeli jets are flying throughout Iran completely unchallenged. And, you know, they're outmatched. I mean, the Iranians are simply outmatched. They're taking hit after hit after hit after hit, and there's nothing they've been able to do to slow the bleeding. That's the fact. That's the facts of the matter. Iran has landed some ballistic missiles, about 10%-ish, give or take a little bit. Israel has done significantly more damage. Yet if you listen to some people online, you would believe that Iran is winning this war and Israel is close to surrendering any day now. That's what you'd be led to believe by some people. I'm going to talk about two examples here for you all. The two examples that I think, quite frankly, I would love to know where these people are getting their information from, because it makes no sense to me. And that is Douglas Macgregor and Scott Ritter. That's who we're going to talk about today. And I've got some tweets and video I'm going to pull up. First, let's show a video of Douglas Macgregor giving his analysis of the war in Israel and how he thinks it's going. And then we'll get into some of his tweets.
Missile arsenal. So I think the Israelis are in bad shape. About a third of Tel Aviv has been damaged or destroyed, and I'm sure that that will continue. As far as their military installations are concerned, I'm told that they're flying a lot of aircraft out of the country. Many are being flown to Cyprus in order to avoid being struck. I think Israel is on the ropes, to be blunt. It has only a few days left in terms of anti-missile missiles, in other words, air defense capability. And some people have described to me, they're on the ground over there, the Iron Dome as a giant sieve.
So that right there was Douglas Macgregor giving his assessment of the war between Israel and Iran essentially having the upper hand here. Iran is winning in his assessment. Israel might be near the breaking point. It's, to me, complete nonsense. But let's go ahead and throw some tweets up, and I have screenshots of lengthy messages. So his handle's been pulled from two of these, but they do come from his account. You can find them on X. Let's go and throw number one up right now. It says, don't be fooled. Israel's in worse shape than people think. About 1/3 of Tel Aviv has been damaged or destroyed. As far as their military installations are concerned, I'm told many Israeli aircraft are being flown to Cyprus to avoid being struck. Israel was not prepared for Iran's response. Again, I don't know where he's getting his information from. I don't know what is it. I don't know where he's hearing this, who he's talking to, who his sources are, any of that stuff. This, to me, is, again, complete fiction. Tel Aviv, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure it'd be on the news, 1/3 of it has not been destroyed or damage. There have been some missile strikes in civilian areas, but again, as far as I know, not been completely wiped out. Let's throw up number 2 on the screen now. This is the beginning of a regional war that will involve the United States, Russia, as well as the whole Islamic world. As Dan McAdams of the Ron Paul Institute pointed out this morning, the similarities between the Israeli use of drones inside Iran with the Ukrainian spiderweb attack inside Russia are striking. Finally, Americans should now expect terrorist attacks on soft targets inside the USA. Soft targets include, at a minimum, nuclear reactors, military installations, power grids, and shopping malls. Let's think about this for a second. Has Russia come to Iran's defense? As far as I know, no. Do you all know something I don't? Are Russian military aircraft rushing in like they did for Bashar al-Assad in Syria? The answer to that is no. Are the Chinese coming to their defense? Is Pakistan coming to their defense? Is Qatar coming to their defense? Nobody is coming to Iran's defense because Israel is beating the shit out of them. And when you look at a country like Iran getting rocked, you don't then say, oh, they're getting destroyed. Let's go in and get in on this losing effort. As for terrorist attacks, anything's possible. Certainly hasn't happened yet. So another one from Doug, good old Dougie, that as far as I can tell, nobody is rushing to Iran's aid. But hey, maybe you all know some I don't. Let me know in the comments if you do. Let's put number 3 up right now. In the last 72 hours, Israel launched a preemptive strike against Iran when negotiations between Washington and Tehran were still ongoing. We now know that Trump was in on the deception campaign. So again, he doesn't really seem to have any idea what he was talking about. Iran was caught off guard, but Iran recovered more quickly from its Pearl Harbor moment than Israel expected. Not really sure that this is anything like Pearl Harbor. In less than 18 hours after Israel's surprise attack, Iran responded firing hundreds of ballistic missiles, including hypersonic missiles, into central Tel Aviv and across Israel. Meanwhile, Israel's Iron Dome failed. Israel intelligence failed. Now Netanyahu is pleading with Washington to intervene with American military power to rescue Israel from certain defeat. A defeat Netanyahu crafted with encouragement from Washington. At the same time, here we go again, at the same time, Russia, China, Pakistan, and most of the Muslim world are rallying to Iran's defense. Supply equipment and technical assistance are pouring into Iran. What's your source on that, Doug? What is your source that the Muslim world is rallying to Iran's defense? Just give us a source. Are Pakistani troops in there? Are Qatari troops in there? Are Chinese troops in there? No. These are all, as far as I can tell, none of this is true. Unless he has sources the rest of us don't. This whole thing's being videotaped. We can see everything. It would be in the news. We would know it. So that's Doug. But he's not alone. Now let's go to Scott Ritter. Next up is Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter is a former weapons inspector. I would encourage you to all go look up his life on Google. I'm not going to talk about it here because it might cause issues with YouTube, but just go ahead and look up Scott Ritter's Wikipedia page and scroll down a little bit. You might be shocked by what you find. I'll leave it at that. Scott Ritter has also come out with plenty of takes that, quite frankly, don't make any sense to me whatsoever. And I'd like to know the sources of some of this stuff. So let's throw up number 1 right here. This is a string of tweets. Iran is in the process of physically destroying Israel in a conflict Israel initiated with a Pearl Harbor-like surprise attack using allegations of a nuclear weapon program Iran never had, in which Iran was in the process of negotiating a binding deal to ensure it would never have. Israel effed around. Now it's finding out no shit's given for you or your Israeli masters. Are they destroying Israel? Is Israel on the brink? Again, the footage from the war that I've seen would certainly tell a very different story. And everyone watching this channel, I bring you the footage every day on both sides. I show you when Israel gets hit. A few dozen Israelis have died. That's bad. I'm not good. Not even close to what's happened to Iran. Here we go. Another great take. Iran needs to break Israel's back, trigger the collapse of the Netanyahu government, compel the new Israeli government to sue for peace, and insist that the condition for peace is an Iranian nuclear program inclusive of 3.75 enrichment. Russia would be the broker of this deal. Yeah, Scotty, you want Russia to broker the deal? You don't want the United States? You don't want the most powerful country in the world, the country I believe you're a citizen of, to broker the deal? Break Israel's back. Trigger the collapse of the government. Sue for peace. If you think the Israelis are close to losing this war, I really do not know what to tell you. Here we go. Here's another one. Iran has 20,000 missiles. I looked it up. It's believed Iran maybe has 3,000 ballistic missiles and a few thousand cruise missiles. Math may or may not be any of our strong suits. I'm pretty sure that's a lot less, a lot fewer than 20,000. So again, Scott, what is your source on this? And furthermore, they can have all the missiles they want. If they don't have the launchers because they've been blown up, the missiles are useless. The problem with this situation is people listen to these people, they trust these people, they repeat what these people say, and as far as I can tell, there is no good sourcing on much of these claims. We've all seen the footage. We've all watched the news. People watching this channel know. Who really believes Israel is on the brink of collapse right now? Again, they're flying fighter jets uncontested all over Iran. And Iran hasn't been able to shoot a single one down. 90% is the estimate of the ballistic missiles that did not make it through Israeli and American air defenses. Of course, all of this is fluid. It could all change. But that's the reality of the situation today. We're living in reality today. And these two people who have amassed a following online with claims that I have not seen evidence to suggest are real, it's crazy to me. And we gotta call out people spreading fake news. There's nothing Douglas Macgregor has said that I truly believe is overly accurate with his whole assessment of the situation. There's nothing Scott Ritter has said. Scott Ritter doesn't seem like a nice guy to me. Very bitter, angry person, it seems like. Not a guy I'd want to go to a party with. And he's out here making these claims about collapsing the government of Israel and how they're effing around and found out. What they find out? They successfully launched a decapitation strike of the military command of a country, 1,000, 1,200 miles away? In an operation they never saw coming. Iran talked shit forever and got crushed when push came to shove. That's the fact. War's not over. Still a lot of things could happen. The U.S. could get involved. But I don't believe these people to be credible. I think they're spreading misinformation. I think the things they say are wrong. And if they have evidence that proves that I'm actually incorrect, I would beg them to show it to me. That's the fact of the matter. So it is what it is. I don't think you guys should listen to these people. I don't think they're good sources of information on this topic. So that is what it is. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments about the information you see spread around online. What do you think of my assessment? What do you think of Scott Ritter and Douglas Macgregor? And then please, as always, make sure to like and subscribe. Cost you guys nothing. Hit the notifications, hit the bell. Make sure you click so you get all the notifications. You won't miss a thing. I'll catch you all next time.